Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Virtual Johns, and I will be your host for this show about AI. I am happy to be joined today by fellow AI robot enthusiast, and that would be Patrick from the GarageBand. I messed it up. I can't even say the name. Hello, Patrick. Hello, chatbot.
Chatbot, thank you very much.
How are you, chatbot? What's been going down?
Smooth, silky smooth as always.
Oh.
I'm good, mate. How are you? You getting on okay?
I'm doing fine. And dandy. Yeah, we're chatting in the pre-show. Then I was like, "Oh, it's 30 seconds to go. We should probably actually start this thing."
Yeah.
And then I'd had AI write a script for our opening, and then it logged me out. So there you go. There's the first fail for AI. Is that it logged me out before I could actually read it. Today we're talking about all things. This is our holiday hangout, and I said to Patrick, "We want to have a holiday hangout about how AI is going to destroy the world." And he said, "Sounds bleak, Johns, but
Festive,
let's give it a go."
absolutely.
Super festive. So we are going to talk about music and AI and a bunch of other stuff about music production and GarageBand, because we're both GarageBand enthusiasts, and what we've done this year and what we're looking forward to next year. But we are interactive too. So if anyone is here live and you have a question for either of us, or you just have a comment or anything you want to say, we're going to be pretty casual today, and we need to put a cue in front of that. But before we crack on, what's been going on at Chatbot in the world of the GarageBand guide? And you got some videos lately that I've actually been really enjoying. Not that I don't enjoy your stuff all the
Thanks
time.
for that.
But
Yeah.
your last couple
Usually
have
you
been
don't.
actually,
Yeah.
they've been high quality, and I was surprised.
Put some effort in at the end of the year. Why not? Yeah. Wrapping up pretty much. Yeah. Wrapping
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Looking at kind of end of year stuff, kind of best apps of the year, and then kind of thinking about what's going to happen next year. Yeah, pretty much. What about you? What's been going on? I haven't watched any of your videos recently, Pete, so I couldn't comment. Are they good?
No, but substandards,
kidding.
completely subpar. Yeah, no, barely getting by. No, it's been interesting because definitely been doing a lot more of the live stuff. I got the dreaded lurgy. I know that you had that earlier on in the piece, so that was about 4 weeks ago now, and I'm only just getting enough energy back, which I know sounds like an excuse, but don't get it, don't rate it, don't like it, don't want it. So if you haven't had it yet, I would be wearing 3 masks every time I set foot outside the door, just quietly. But yeah, definitely been having a bit of a toll. But yeah, the live shows have been great. So especially Your Music Live. So this community and the amazing music that folks share around here has been fabulous. We did a Christmas show a couple of days ago. Everyone shared all of their holiday songs, and that was awesome. So
Excellent.
Really enjoyed that one. But yeah, getting back and focusing on creating more music, because we were chatting and you said, oh, we could talk about our favourite apps of the year and the best things that happened in 2022. And I'm like, I don't know that I've actually used a third-party app in the last 6 months. So I might be leaning heavily on you for that one, just quietly.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it would be an even better thing if I was actually creating music. But not only am I not reviewing apps, I'm still not creating music. So there's that. We'll say g'day. And for folks that don't know, by the way, you can go, of course, to thegaragebandguide.com if you want to check out everything that Patrick has got going on over there. It is a very good website. I know I can have a bit of fun with Patrick with this, but I went to your website, and the ad that popped up, it tells me to turn off all ads. So
nice.
There you go.
You should definitely not do that. It's Christmas time. Come on, man.
What you should do, if you get that, click through, click the ad, and then don't install the ad blocker, because I found that kind of hilarious that the first ad I saw was for, don't remember, it's kind of like when we're doing, I don't know if you've looked at the ads that are on your videos, but you do a big tutorial about something, and then it's like the ad for it is masterclass. They're like, now that you've finished with the amateur, why don't you actually let a professional teach you how to do stuff? And it's like, oh, thank you, masterclass, but I guess you're paying the bills. Let's say good day to the folks who are here in the live chat. We've got Joe and Barry Glenn, who says hello to Patrick, and hello to you. Frank Terzo's back. We had an issue with Frank Terzo yesterday. He couldn't chat, and there was freedom for Frank was the cry. I don't know how I'd blocked him somehow. I'll blame the moderators, because it's probably
glad to see you've walked that back, Pete. It's very big of you.
I know, yeah, I know. I'm a bit of a power trip. I'm like the new Elon. I'm the Elon of the GarageBand community. I like to ban people and bring them back at my whim.
GarageBand Karen.
That'd be a good T-shirt, GarageBand Karen.
Wait.
There you go. Ideas. Hello, Sean Chandler. G'day, Mark
Hello.
Bro, who, I think you're a bit under the weather as well, Mark. So I hope you are getting better soon. Who else did I see there? Mr. Gary, who was here so early. He was here before anyone else. Chatbot looks familiar and very lifelike. Yeah, look, this is an AI that I programmed earlier to look a little bit like Patrick from the GarageBand Guide, and I think it's coming along well.
Well, according to Ron Ward, we look very alike. So all you'd have to do is just kind of self-portrait, stick some glasses on, and a different silly accent, and you're there. I mean,
it was why I wore the hat today, because I'm like, people won't be able to tell the difference. They won't know who's speaking, and especially since we've put our pseudonyms, our virtual names, no one would have a clue who we were. So yes, there's hello SM Borthwick, hello to Audible Video, Thomas Christ, our wonderful moderator there as well. Many vibes. Hello to you, Still Illa. Thank you for joining us, and Alicia Jones. Hello to you. Let's jump straight into it, shall we? And ask this question. I wanted to start with this. So, artificial intelligence, as you understand it, or as you've interpreted it, if there was a seesaw and you had to either be on the no AI or the yes AI side, how far down that seesaw to one way or the other would you sit? Would you be right at one end doing that thing you did in primary school where you sat right at the end and kept someone else in the air, or would you be somewhere in between in the scale of things? Where does Patrick sit on artificial intelligence as it relates to what we do in terms of music and creative endeavors?
So you're telling me in this Pete Johns analogy, there is no fence in the middle to sit on? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you have to be leaning one side or the other. So as me, the ultimate fence sitter, you can't sit right in the middle. You have to be leaning. Would you lean more in the positive, or do you lean more in the we're all doomed and going to die?
I mean, we are all doomed and going to die. Keep it light. I think depending on the exact application of it, it's a tool just like anything else. I know the kind of ChatGPT and a lot of art AI has been grabbing headlines lately, but in terms of music, that kind of stuff's been around for a while. So I mean, if you think about mastering services like Lander or Cloudbounce, they're very much a kind of AI. They're automatically applying things to your music, and even plugins like Isotope, a lot of their mastering and their mixing plugins now will use an assistant to listen to your music and then apply EQ and limiting settings and things like that based on the audio that you're putting into it. So in terms of what we do, it's kind of been around for a while already. I think if you were going to get worried about it, your time's kind of you're way too late. So I mean, I think if as long as you're the one who is using it as a tool and it's not kind of the whole 100% of what you are creating, then I think why not?
Yeah.
What do you think? That was a very kind of
we will bear down to our overlords anyway, so we might as well enjoy the ride. I agree, and I think that artificial intelligence is kind of the next step past automation, and I've always been a big fan of automation, and I think weirdly. I was thinking about this yesterday, preparing for the show. My preparation is sitting at the cricket drinking a beer. But I was sitting at the cricket drinking a beer and thinking about this. And I used to be, this is going to sound like a really weird tangent, but I promise it's semi-related. I used to be on the on the committee of my child's childcare centre, so daycare centre. It was a community-run thing. And I was on there for like 3 years. And the first year it got to Christmas time and they said, right, what day should we close down and then reopen? Christmas is on a Friday this year, so do we close on the Thursday and then reopen on the following Wednesday, or whatever? So we had this long conversation about that. It got to the next year and we had the exact same conversation. And I said, excuse me, aren't there 7 scenarios here? And shouldn't we just write down one way to process this so that whatever day Christmas falls on that year, we go to the document and say, hey, if it's on a Sunday, we close down on the previous Friday. If it's on a Friday, we close on the Thursday. If it's on a Thursday, there's only 7 scenarios here, only 7 possibilities. Why don't we automate this? And the looks of hatred and horror that I got from the other people in this group, they're just like, they either didn't understand or they wanted to have this conversation. It kind of reminded me of the fact that people want the human input. They don't want to trust something, even if it's something as simple as a document that says 7 grids and then 7 different numbers. they want to be able to have that conversation. And I think when I think of AI in terms of self-driving and people in the trucking industry going, oh, this is going to ruin everything because we don't want trucks driving our cars, and then right through to the music industry where it's like, we don't want AI deciding our chord progressions and writing our lyrics for us. I don't know. I see an analog there of people wanting that control. Is that relevant, or am I just an old man yelling at clouds?
No, I think it's an absolutely valid point to make. Absolutely. And I think, especially looking at things, I don't know if you want to talk about ChatGPT straight away, or
Yeah,
GPT, sorry, straight away.
let's dive in.
But yeah, so in terms of kind of you and me, in terms of kind of young, hip YouTube influencers, I mean, I don't think it's coming for our jobs quite yet. I've seen loads. I mean, you've probably seen as well, lots
Yeah.
and lots of videos of this is how you can use ChatGPT to write your scripts for you. It can create outlines for you and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, I think you're never really going to what's the word I'm looking for? You're never going to resonate with an AI. So as much as an AI could create all of this, your scripts or things for you, the delivery, the way that you talk, and the way that people resonate with the way that you convey information, AI is never going to replace that. I don't think.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about you. I like to think in terms of YouTube that people are drawn to my videos based on the titles or what they're searching for, or the stupid thumbnails or something like that, and then they stay because they resonate with the way that I impart information about something. And I'm sure you're exactly the same way. I think it's important to remember that, yeah, AI isn't going to replace that connection, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a little bit off topic, but I've just seen a lot this last week, especially. I've seen a lot of people really panicking about ChatGPT, in particular about how it's going to completely destroy industries and all this kind of stuff. But I think if you dig a bit deeper, I don't think it's as powerful as all that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. And things like Tom was saying here, my job could easily be done by AI, but it will take many, many years for the higher ups to figure that out. Fortunately, and that is the case as well. There's a lot of things that could be done by that again that people and look, a certain amount of things. There's things here where they had like a work for the dole scheme in Australia where they wanted to make people work even if there were no jobs. So it was the old adage of pay someone to dig a hole and then pay someone else to fill it back in again. So I think if there's a scenario like that, you could get an automated AI hole digging and undigging machine, as opposed to putting someone to work like that. And maybe you could put someone to work doing more important things. But it's interesting. Where did I see there? Asa BT, who is vision impaired, said, it's very good for accessibility and for blind folks because, and look, we've seen that because, and again, your Splesbot or your ALEXA or your SIRI are all AI anyway. They are learning. They are algorithms that are learning over time.
Yes.
Are they learning well? No, mine still can't understand me when I ask the time. So it's it's a long way from it replacing everything. But it's interesting. And in fact, I did an experiment with let's take a couple of steps back here because. Someone, and Gary had a really good point here where he said, what exactly does AI actually do where music is concerned? So I guess there's a few things. So in terms of AI, we're talking artificial intelligence. And as you mentioned, a few examples there with like mastering algorithms of plug-in algorithms that analyze music. And then based on what has been done before, and let's not forget this, based on what's been done before by people, the AI is trained to redo those steps again, rather than someone that knows how to twiddle a knob and knows that, hey, if there's a build up in the 2K frequency, you duck down the EQ there. The AI just says a professional will usually, based on all the analysis of every other mastering that we've seen, will usually do that when this happens. So it's really just an if this, then that statement, but billions of times again and again. And it's all trained on what humans have done before. So when it comes to music, it's kind of the same. What's your sort of view or take on that, I guess, as AI as it associates with music?
I mean, I think the term AI is very much an overarching term for what isn't essentially an artificial intelligence. It is, a lot of it anyway is more algorithmic, as you mentioned, especially when it comes to things like mastering and stuff like that. So I mean, AI's, I don't want to say buzzword because it makes me sound like a 50-year-old man. It's just a buzzword. But
the phase we're going through.
I think people attributing artificial intelligence to things when it isn't actually something intelligent thinking about something independent of itself. It is just, as you say, gathering data from other places and then coming back and applying certain parameters. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah, interesting stuff. And we will talk. I know there's chats in here about copyright, which we've sort of chatted that really briefly. Because again, this is trained on, especially when it comes to artwork or if it starts coming to music. The copyright situation is blurry at best. So yeah, because someone was mentioning it was many vibes here that said where was it? AI? All the musicians won't be looking to artists to make their covers; they'll go to AI, and I think that is a slippery slope indeed. We're already seeing that a lot of the AI art generation that's happening because it is training on actual artists, and because people are doing things like saying, do this piece of artwork in the style of this person, because it's been trained on that style, it will create something pretty good in the style of that person. But can you copyright a style, and is that any different to a human looking at 100 pieces of artwork of that person and then copying their style?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
AI
so legally can't own anything. It's like a dog or like my cat can't own anything. I mean, she might argue that point, to be fair. But yeah,
that's my chair. I own that chair.
Exactly. Yeah, you're my human. But yeah, like AI can't own anything. But then again, it's that kind of, I'm very much on, especially with the artwork. AI is quite a good way to kind of to talk about it, because I don't really think that there is an intelligence and that is coming up with a unique bit of art based on the prompt that you give. Based on the prompt that you give, that algorithm or AI is scraping the internet for several different types of art that fit that prompt and serving you up an amalgamation of that. And obviously the rub comes with the artwork that the AI is drawing that inspiration from is copyrighted material. What is that end product that it creates? So yeah, it's really, really interesting, the legality of that, and obviously that will reflect on our side of music and things like that. If we come to a point where you could have a music version of Midjourney, for example, you give it a prompt about a song that you want it to create using the vocals of, I don't know, using the vocals of Pete Johns, and it comes up with an original track with your voice. Like, that's a strange future we're heading towards, really, isn't it?
It is, and someone says if you prompt AI to create a thing, then do you own it? And that's the thing. We're getting to the point now where a new career may be prompt writer. It may be people that can write prompts in such a way that they generate exactly what the end user is looking for.
I seen on Twitter, because I haven't quite escaped that hell site yet. That somebody used ChatGPT. They asked ChatGPT to write a prompt that they then put into, I don't know if it was Midjourney or another AI art program, and then it gave a picture back. So then in that case, who owns what? If you've asked an AI to create a prompt and that prompt's created artwork, it's just a big, fat, horrible rabbit hole, really, isn't it? Of randomness. It's bizarre. Sorry, I could talk about
this. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's super interesting, and I think I love talking about these things that are in the grey area, because there is no answer at the moment, and it is brand new. And I think, as you said when we came in, it's like, Pete, you're actually where the trend is at the moment, and you seem so surprised because it's so rare that I'm anywhere near the leading edge and the bleeding edge of things. So it's interesting. This is cool. So this is ChatGPT, by the way. OpenAI is where you need to go. So go to openai.com. You can sign up for a free account. It is free right now. It'll probably go behind a paywall at some stage. So use it and abuse it. So I just did exactly what you said there. I said, write a prompt to generate an album art using AI image generation, and create a unique and eye-catching album cover using an AI generation. Experiment with different stuff. So it didn't really understand that, but you'd probably have to say, write the prompt for an AI album art generator to create an album that looks like this. But Yeah, I never thought of the next level of using AI to write the prompts for other AI, and then if you put it through enough different ones, you can kind of
Yeah,
bury your tracks. Like, and this is great for
that,
kids. If you're doing your homework and you want to write an essay on something, tell a different chat agent to write the prompt and then put it in, because all your classmates are going to be writing the same prompt. Because the teacher will
yeah,
say,
yeah.
write a 500-word essay about the Civil War, and you'll put that in there, and it'll write the same essay that everyone else is. So this must be a nightmare for teachers, because the smart kids are going to be doing. Actually, it could be a good opportunity if you're a smart kid. Use this, and then you can sell the answers to all your
There's
classes.
software that schools and stuff use now to check whether a piece of writing has the hallmarks of having been written by AI. So there is
That's
software
amazing.
that they use that they will feed whatever they're submitted in to see whether or not it's the same way that they would if it was to check for plagiarism. It's the same kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, they can
Well,
check to
yeah.
see. It's,
There's databases. Apparently, there are homework farms. Basically, there are places
yeah,
where all the smart kids are just creating new and original responses to things and doing a whole bunch of variations of them, and then selling them off to kids who don't want to do it in the first place. Which says more about our education system and how poorly we engage with students. If they hate school so much, they're going to spend $10 to buy a AI generated response
I
to
would
an
have done
essay.
it back in the day if it was available, to be fair. Why not if you're going to get
Oh,
something like that? I mean, I
I
think
prob-
the lesson from that is if you want to take advantage of, if you want to take advantage of something like this in order to do something like that, now's probably the time, I think, because there will be a
yeah, oh, yeah,
paywall of some sort. I think I read somewhere that each query that is submitted to GPT, I keep on GPT costs $0.003.
yeah,
And if you can imagine how many queries are going in every minute and how
yeah.
much that must be costing them to even just run the servers, yeah, there must be
It's
some
yeah.
paywall coming at some point. Yeah.
It is coming, and it won't be cheap. I would imagine it'll be a lot like the other
No.
things where you have a subscription where you get maybe 10 prompts per week or something like that. So you'll have to really carefully curate and know exactly, instead of what I'm doing at the moment, which is doing things like this where I'm just saying bald men yelling at clouds in a cartoon style for an album artwork. I'm sorry, but I would listen. I don't care what the song is. I would listen to whatever that is for a bald man yelling at clouds. So yeah, it is fun.
Brilliant.
You can play around. So that is, by the way, that is DistroPick, which is a free. So there's Midjourney. There's a whole bunch of other sort of, again, paid and subscription type services that are probably a little bit more in depth. But because DistroKid, full disclosure, are a sponsor of this channel, DistroPick at distropick.com. You can come in here and you can put any prompt you like in here, and it will generate a very nice high res 1x1 image that you can then use as a piece of album artwork. But to the point that others were making in the chat before, yeah. What if in a year's time they declare that all this AI artwork under some country's laws, and I'm looking at you, European Union, because it's usually you, say that you can't use any of this, and they pull it all down from Spotify? Yeah. As with anything,
Yeah, it's interesting.
using music, using images, using text. If you use anything but your own 100% your own original work, you put yourself at risk of potential issues in the future. So I'd probably put that warning out there on Front Street.
Use it as a tool. Use it as a starting point.
Exactly.
Certainly we talked about scripts and stuff before the show. All my stuff is now all completely AI generated now. By the way, I'm kidding. But you could use this as a starting point, as a prompt if you're having issues getting started or thinking of a title for a video or something like that. You could write in, give me 10 ideas for a title for a video about, I don't know, like how to automate in GarageBand iOS or something, and then you
Yeah.
could use that as a jumping off point. But yeah, I don't think I'd be taking anything verbatim from something like that and then using it, if that makes sense.
It does.
Exactly for the reasons you've just said.
Yeah, and I'm doing this because I've not tried this with the whole give me 10 ideas. So we'll see if ChatGPT can give 10 ideas for a title for a video about using automation in GarageBand
It's going to come up and
iOS.
say, "How are you pronouncing GarageBand in this?"
Oh no! Mastering automation, maximize your workflow with automation, the beginner's guide to automation in Garage. These are all good. Unleashing the power of automation.
I'd click on that.
Right? Unleashing power. Effortlessly control your mix with automation.
Wow.
These are 10 times better than anything I would ever write. Creating dynamic and expressive tracks with automation in GarageBand. That is outstanding. I actually do like that.
Dangerous, isn't it? It's dangerous.
Well, yeah. Look, but again, if you're stuck for it, and again, if you're a songwriter, so if you're not making videos, if you're a songwriter, you could say, give me 10 ideas for a song about clouds and rainbows, because we're all tackling the big topics around here, and yeah, you could get a title for that. And, cloudy skies, rainbow
Oh
eyes.
my God!
Come on, Rainbow Chaser.
Cloudy
Rainbow Chaser sounds like
rainbow eyes. Love it.
cloudy
with a chance of rainbows. Oh, I'm
'Cause
having
I'm
that.
cloudy with a chance of rainbows. That's a country song, yeah. That'd be a great song about like my wife left me, my dog bit me, it's getting cloudy, but there's a chance of rainbows. Oh, so that's outstanding.
Oh wow.
You can see the addictive nature of this sort of stuff, can't you?
Yeah.
It is. It's too fun to play around with all this stuff. Excuse me a second. My apologies.
You just call me a wanker. I just heard it.
Yeah, no, wanker. Yeah, that's exactly it. So for the folks who are here live, enjoying the show, if you are having some fun, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. Down in the description is a link to Patrick's channel over at the GarageBand Guide. And I do want to point you towards your last couple of video, your one about the free plugin of the year. This is really cool. I love the fact that
it's great.
that these folks, there you go, Baby Audio are going all in on iOS. And they've been making great stuff for VSTs and AUs for a long time. And I remember talking to our contact over there and saying, when do you come into iOS? Hit me up. And then now I can't keep up with how much iOS stuff that they're putting out there. So do go and check that one out. And I like this. I like the shiftiness of your best iOS apps of 2022, because I went down, like most people do, I dropped down here to the description and said, I'll get you bad. Oh no, you haven't put the apps. You said number 1, number 2. I'm like, I don't want to watch the whole video. I want to jump around. And you were like, nope. Sorry,
I'll probably
Johns.
go back in about a week after. I think after a week after it's out and change it. That's just for the first kind of.
At 5,700 views in the first few days, I wouldn't be changing anything, just quietly. I would be leaving that one be and let folks discover it, because it is. I've found that lately that. Because I've been putting out videos for a long time, and I keep thinking in terms of, all right, you need to have all the information in there. Sometimes a little bit of mystery, a little bit of intrigue. It's what folks like Davey504 have done for decades, for years, which is like, oh yeah, wait till the end where I reveal some epic information about bass, and you're like, oh wow, I have to hang out to the end now. But so yes, well done. I like it.
Quite the Italian accent there.
Every time I use an accent, I get bad. I'd say I've been banned from accents, and I may have mentioned
no idea
why.
On the show. Why? I don't know. That's great.
I know. Well, yeah, especially when I say the GarageBand game.
GarageBand.
GarageBand. Yeah, got that random rolled R in there that makes no sense at all. Yes, thank you, Thomas. Yes, please do go and check out. If you want some slightly more sensible chat about GarageBand and all things considered, you can jump on over there. Hello, Colin Powell, not Colin, not the former Secretary of State, I hope. No. Coldacre, my dog bit me. I'm sorry about that. Quite a bit short. Yeah, there you go. Pete and Patrick we do deserve better, Mark. Thank you for raising the lack of likes, because the YouTube robots, the YouTube AI needs to have all the thumbs up there so that it can go and tell everyone else how much fun we're having. Hello, Fat Panda Cat 2. Thank you for both. How cool are some people's names? Like, do you ever read a comment and you're just like, Fat Panic? Where does that even come from? That's amazing. You know what we should do? We should ask ChatGPT to help us with some cool handles for like some interesting sounding handles for our YouTube channels, or names for a YouTube channel. But I'll do that. I'll do that while I ask you this, Patrick. What of 2022? What have you been liking in terms of the world of music creation and GarageBand? It's your first year of being full time at this gig. So you've obviously been spending a lot of time creating videos and reviewing apps and looking at hardware and doing all the things. Anything that sticks out as highlights from the last year that you're just like, yeah, that was a cool thing?
So we talked a little bit about this in the 5 minutes of preparation before this show. I had to look back because I had suggested we look at like our favorite GarageBand sound pack of the year.
Yeah.
But looking back, didn't really release a whole lot.
17.
So there was there was Modular Rhythms at the start of the year, and then there was Beat Tape at kind of the middle end of the year, And in terms of like packs, that was pretty much it. And
That
Apple
was
went
it.
all in on remix sessions this year. So we had
Yeah.
Katy Perry, Harley's in Hawaii. Why do I remember that? 17, as you mentioned, yeah, the excellent, fantastic 17. And then most recently Zed as well. So yeah, and I mean, we can all pretty much agree that for people who are creating music and have a bit of experience creating music in GarageBand on iOS, they're useless. They're just a novelty essentially, because it's all copyrighted. You can't use it. But I mean, if you're learning the app and if you're, you know, just getting to grips with it, it's okay. Kind of, I don't know, kind of increasingly seems like Apple's vision of GarageBand is for beginners on their first step towards Logic on Mac. It kind of seems like that's what Apple's focus is. But I mean, in terms of I would say Beat Tape would be the best one. Not that I really use any of the sounds, but because it's the best of a bad bunch, I would say. It's a bit of a. I'm considering last year and 2020 was such a huge influx of content. It was not, I wouldn't say disappointing, because it's not like we can ask for a money back on the free app that we use and make content on. But a little bit disappointing maybe. What's your take on that? I know you love 17 and you were thrilled with that, but I mean, outside that, Pete, you know.
As soon as I found out, because you and I both sort of put our videos out about it, we're like, oh, but these are copyrighted. And I think it was one of the few times I heard, and I think you did as well, from Apple saying, well, actually, the 17 one, you can do it. In fact, the band are encouraging you to do remixes. And I was like, banned. Whatever. So my separate channel, 17 Mixes, which is all about remixing 17, is pretty cool. But yeah, I agree that, and look, I know everyone wants a metal pack, everyone wants a country pack, everyone wants a folk pack, a singer-songwriter pack. I think to your point, we've got about all we're going to get in terms of virtual instruments and sounds and loops when it comes to more traditional sounds, because we're the exception in terms of folks that are creating and getting into GarageBand. And the cynical side of me says that Apple have GarageBand out there so that when people are considering, oh, should I get an iPhone or an Android phone? They'll be like, oh, well, GarageBand comes on my iPhone and I like GarageBand, so I'll get that. And that's not the sort of folks who are already producing music or who are going to make a metal song on their iPad. That's very much that entry level, just getting into music creation, which isn't a bad thing. But it's why I'm a bit worried that we'll lose our ports in the future, because the majority of people don't want a port, whereas pros or people creating music, we definitely do. So we are the 10%, not the 90%. And I think sometimes we get I definitely do get my knickers in a twist, because I think, well, they should be doing better for me. It's all about me. Exactly. But the $1 trillion business doesn't look at their 10%. They look at their 90%, and that's just the reality of capitalism. Just like free girls in the city.
Keep it light, Pete. Keep it light. It's Christmas. Come on. So the world's going to end we're all going to get killed by robots, and capitalism is now going to take over. That's it.
It is.
It already has, isn't it?
It's all billionaires and $1 trillion companies. That's all it will be. That'll be the hellscape of. It'll just be Zuckerberg and Elon just boxing in a ring quietly in the corner, while Apple just sell us products with no ports.
Merry Christmas, everybody. See you next year. Bye.
That's mic drop. I wanted to. Oh, see, this is a good example of where AI doesn't come to the party. Because while you were chatting there, I actually asked AI this question. I said, write a summary of all the sound library packs release. I didn't type it right, in GarageBand. GarageBand for iOS includes a number of built-in sound library packs to include a wide range of instruments, blah, 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 drums and percussion, smart drums, keyboard assist. So this has missed the question entirely, because this is just telling you the different things that you can use to create in GarageBand. So this is an example of where if you get just that one thing wrong and it goes off on a tangent, it gives you a completely different response. And if you were doing what some of the script kiddies are doing these days and writing their own YouTube channels that are just using voice synthesizers to create tutorials, which I find absolutely horrible, then that's what you'd do. And you'd create this and you'd be like, here's all the best sound library packs in GarageBand. And it'd be like Orchestra World. No, that was built into GarageBand 2.3. That wasn't a separate sound pack. And smart drums, that's not a sound library pack. So it does miss the point sometimes, and I think that's where the humans come in. So we will just be that. We'll be AI checkers in the future.
I mean, that video you're talking about would probably get about 300,000 views. You realize that, right? It's always the way that works. I mean, that looks like it's done a Google search, and I don't know if it's because it's such a specific or such a small. I don't want to say a small topic, but you know what I mean, such a specialized topic that when it's kind of done whatever search it's done to bring that information in and collate it for you, that's just what's there. So it'd be interesting to maybe I might play with that a little bit more and see if there's even more of a small topic to see if it's even more, because it's a very general answer. I mean, it's not the correct answer, but even in the wrong answer, it's a very general kind of Google answer it's giving you there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Whereas if I do something like this and I say how to use automation, it's actually giving me a reasonably good, by the looks of it, step-by-step guide. So the track editor, select the track you want to automate, click on the automation button in the top right corner of the track editor, click on the parameter you want to automate. So this is obviously for Mac that it's showing us here because I didn't specify iOS. But it's I love that it does. I don't know if it deliberately does it like this to make you think that it's kind of thinking. Like I'd really like to know behind the scenes, has it already generated all this and then it's just making it do this to look all sci-fi-y? I reckon it is.
Well, that's the cursor is flashing to make it look like it's typing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Whereas it doesn't
spot on.
do that,
Whereas it could probably just go flump, but
How does that go?
Flump.
That's nice.
Flump. Yeah. Here's a question, and I'll ask Patrick this as well. Will you make a song with AI? So our friend Jade Starr, full credit to Jade. She's been well ahead of the curve of both of us on this stuff for the last sort of year. She did an AI song all the way back in Songtember using AI, and I think you're using the Riffler or something like that, Jade, to generate chords, which again, is it AI really writing the song then, or is it just a randomizer for things that work well on the circle of fifths? I don't know. But it's you created the song using it. It's great, and I know that many people use AI voice simulators to make vocals and to make instruments. So there's options out there. Do you have any interest, Patrick, in exploring this world in terms of creating AI music, or are you going to leave it to the bleeding edge folks?
I mean, I think it's an interesting topic. I would be very interested to see what kind of results you could get. I would love to give it a try. I think I'm going to go back and see exactly what Jade did, and I might try and copy it and pass it off as my own. Really, I think.
I think that's the best thing. I do that with Jade all the time.
Why not? Great ideas. But I mean, other people are going to be doing it. I think. It seems like a really interesting topic to explore, even just to see how good the results could actually be. What are you going to do? Are you going to challenge?
I think so. I think what I want to do is for lyrics. I want to because I always struggle with lyrics. Like I can write music really well, but one of the things that's been really powerful with AI has been rhyming and lyric writing. And I know Jade just did a show just before this one that folks should go back and check out, where she played around with some songs and she asked it a particular question, and I won't spoil it here. But it nailed it, like in terms of the content and in terms of like some of the statements used in the song, it absolutely nailed it. And again, who owns that song now? Is that now Jade's song because she wrote the prompt? If she records that song right now with those lyrics, does it fall under copyright? Because as most folks know, for the way copyright works in most countries is you don't have to formally register copyright. As soon as you create something, you own the copyright to that thing, whether it's music or lyrics or whatever. So it's really interesting to think what that actually becomes. So I will watch from the sidelines for a little while, but I could see myself in the new year doing a let's create something using, while ChatGPT is free, because let's be honest, it won't be for long. While it's free, let's use it to create a song and to give it a prompt and to
what
write
about
some lyrics.
January, Pete?
Oh, Jay, that's a stretch, but I kind of love it. I love how clunky it is. I'm totally going to say now. Do you own the copyright? If I now use January, do I have to say copyright Patrick Band?
You can have it. No, you can have it. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. There you go. It's been gifted to me, folks. You heard it. You heard it right here. It has been gifted to me. It's interesting stuff, and we'll do that. What we'll do, because it's always fun to get a little bit of interaction with the audience here, is in a moment I'll get folks to throw prompts, and we'll get ChatGPT to write a song. Nothing lewd, nothing crude, nothing out there, because it does have filters on there. I know. Yeah. But come up with some ideas and some prompts for a song, and we'll write the Studio Live Today GarageBand Guide community Christmas song here in just a moment, and then Patrick will sing it for us all. Hello to some folks who have joined us here live. G'day Midnight Bandit. Hello to Dave Fox. Thank you for dropping on by. We've got folks talking about the caged system for learning guitar. Colin Powell says I uploaded a Christmassy tune generated by Riffler, and Riffler playing Christmassy sounds in the Bismarck BS16Li, and played a melody over the top, and it's pretty Christmassy. Just a tune, not lyrics. Yeah, so that's the way to do it. Yeah, I'm nearly 100% digital and just have one acoustic. I have nothing to fear with AI personally. It's just the tech to use. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people are, is that it's a tool. Like Patrick and me, it's just a tool. You don't need to worry about it. In the background here, I asked ChatGPT one of the most common questions that you and I both get, which is write a step-by-step guide to connecting a USB audio interface to your iPad to record in GarageBand. So this is actually not too bad. Make sure that your USB interface is compatible.
A job, Pete. Stop this.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'm putting it out here so that people will know what to do, and we'll just create this. It'll be like that episode of The Simpsons when they find the recipe for the flaming moe, and then there'll be like flaming Joes and flaming hoes and all sorts of other places.
Flaming hose.
Flaming hose. Yeah. But this is interesting because I've never done any of this sort of stuff. So this must be from some guide somewhere. But have you ever gone into accessibility, hardware, USB accessories, and switched to the on position? I don't think that's a current thing. That may be like an iOS 6 thing.
Yeah,
that's going to be old school. So all this section here is kind of completely irrelevant. This is
strange.
Now this bit's okay. You know, the plus button, the audio recording. Yeah, you're taking it to the audio recorder icon. Tap on the inputs and select it from the available inputs. Yep, tap the record button. So it's like it's mediocre. It's like an elementary school child Googled it and then put it together. So
ask it something difficult. Ask it, what was that video you did? Ask it to see if it can tell you how to multi-track record in GarageBand on iOS. Because that's like a little hack, isn't it? That's not something that would be that they could pull from Apple's manual.
How to record.
Sorry, folks. Sorry.
Oh no, this is just us having fun.
Sorry, guys.
Factory 3 in GarageBand iOS with multiple tracks at once. This will be interesting. Watch the dot. It's like, or you need that Jeopardy music. Create a new process you want to record in. Tap on the track view button at the top left of the screen to access the track view screen. Okay, I'm with you so far. Tap on audio recorder. I don't think it's going to do the trick where tap on the inputs and select the input source for each track that you want to record. Well, yeah, you can use multi-touch instrument icon. No, not really. Adjust the volume and panning each track as desired. Tap on the red record button to start. All selected tracks will record simultaneously. When you're finished, tap on the stop button. Yeah, so it's missed a couple of important things there, which is that you can then edit and arrange. So
note, you can. Okay, showboating now, isn't it?
I know. It's like a note. You can also do this.
It's all right. We're safe, Pete. We're safe.
We are safe.
It's okay. Yeah. Phew.
Yes. Weirdly enough, though, one of the funniest things, so what kind of started the whole idea for this is that when I first got ChatGPT, for whatever reason, one of the first things I wrote, I sent it to Patrick, was quite hilarious, was write an article about the ongoing feud between Pete Johns of Studio Live Today and Patrick of the GarageBand Guide. And it created this amazing dialogue about how you said something about a piece of hardware that I didn't agree with. And people don't know about it, but they hope that the two can see eye to eye again one day. And it was
the GarageBand cinematic universe, the birth of it. It's great.
Which is great. I always wanted to create a video of it just about that.
Like I said, I really wish we were actually that interesting. We're not.
Should write scripts for DC. Can't be anywhere. There you go. All right. Should we write a song, because we haven't actually showed off the ability to write lyrics, and you'll actually be if you haven't seen this, you'll be blown away, because it does the verses and choruses, and you can tell the length of the song and the type of song to write. So we usually start with just write a song, which is what I'm going to put here. But if folks are here live, what I want you to do is to start filling out the prompt with the type of song, anything it should be about. You could even go with the key signature, like I could say in 6/8
Oh,
time. It
wow.
might give me some
Really?
rhymingness of that.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
try all these sort of things. So we'll do a test run to start with here while folks are
Okay.
putting in some ideas here. So Patrick, write a song in the style of. This is going to be like a Mad Libs thing in the style of Patrick.
Oh, wow. Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh no, this could be very, very interesting in the style of Weird
How do
Al
you spell
Yankovic. Yeah, I think it's that. Weird Al
Okay.
Yankovic. I'm going to see Weird Al next year. Weird Al
Oh,
Yankovic
nice.
about, and what is it going to be about?
Oh,
On the spot.
snow in Australia. There you go.
Right. Write a song in the style of Weird Al Yankovic about snow in Australia. ChatGPT, what do you got for us?
Oh man,
First
I'm
one.
genuinely really interested.
It's a winter wonderland down under. Hang on, I've got to sing it, don't I, in Australian
Yeah,
accent?
of course.
In a Weird Al. It's a winter wonderland down under where the sun is shining bright, but the snow is falling harder than it ever had before tonight. Australia's got snow, can you believe it? It's White Christmas, it's also cold, but we're still having fun with hot cocoa and fire. Australia's got snow and it's all right. Okay, so the chorus is not that strong. Oh, we're building snowman and snowy forts and having
Wow.
snowball fights all day. The streets are slick and icy, but we don't mind. We're having a blast. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any rhymes in any of that verse, but
There's
that's
not.
okay. We'll
Is
go
there
with it.
usually in a weird? There isn't a weird Al Yankovic song usually, isn't there?
Well, yeah, it's usually got a few interesting rhymes, but that's not too bad. Bridge. We don't get snow down here, often down here, but when it comes, it's a rare treat. So we're making the most of it while it lasts, and it's so sweet.
That's good, man. I'm genuinely quite impressed.
I'm pretty impressed, especially because it's a weird. Yeah, it kind of captured the Weird Al style, and it definitely, went with the whole. It knows enough about Australia to know that snow is a rare thing, and Down Under started to use that in there. So, hot cocoa and fire. I like it. I like it. So you can ask it to provide chords for each line of the generated song as well.
No way.
Oh, okay. So I guess we have to go write a song again. So in the style of, has anyone given us any other styles that we can try here? Let's just see. Upbeat song about walking in the rain, but with a happy vibe. Okay, write an upbeat song. We'll just do exactly what Marcus said. Write an upbeat song about walking in the rain, but with a happy vibe, and provide chords for each line. I've never actually done the chords thing before, so Cold Acre, this could be interesting. Do I need to get my guitar so we can play a little?
Oh, what's it doing? Come on. Oh, it's thinking about it. Oh wow.
It's too hard. Mark has broken AI. What have you done to it, Mark?
You have.
Look at that. It's not even doing the right. Oh no, it's just that.
Oh wow. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so we've got this. I love the sound of rain. It's like a symphony in my brain. I don't mind getting wet. I just put on my raincoat and let what? I go walking in the rain, feeling fine and alive again. So it chose my favorite key, which is actually pretty good. I go walking in the rain, feeling happy, feeling
sane. Wow. Oh, that went hard.
Wow. I didn't say about someone who's just recovered from serious mental illness, but feeling happy, feeling sad. It could be a bit of a troubadour style, alt 90s Beck style song. Feeling happy, feeling sane. I don't mind the puddles on the ground. They just add to the fun when I'm out and about. I love the way the world looks, all shiny and new, like it's been shook. Rhyming look and shook. Chef's kiss on that one. Oh, wow. You can see the fun that you can have with this. It does some pretty good things. But yeah, feeling sane was the gold one there, wasn't it? It was absolutely good.
I know what I'm doing for the rest of the evening.
I know it's just the best thing. Yeah, you can just show me the chords for each line and it remembers. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I like it.
Nice one, Colin.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. I like the song at Jade's about. Yeah, look, Jade went with a really serious topic, which in fact we should write a Christmas song, shouldn't we? Like let's write a Christmas song. Oh, I better bring the chat prompt up. We'll do one more song and then we will talk about a couple more things before we finish up. But,
no, let's just keep making up stupid songs.
Having too much fun. Write Christmas song about what about? What do you reckon?
Santa getting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I know. Lost
Yeah.
at the bottom of a bottle? No. No.
What's gonna do it?
No. God.
I want to try it. No,
Okay, yeah, go for it.
dark. Okay, all right. At the bottom of this will be interesting how this interprets this. Get lost at the bottom of the bottle, and Christmas being cancelled forever in the style of a children's song with chords. All right. Let's give this a go. Yes, we're using ChatGPT, Rena, and you can sign up at openai.com. Not sponsored, by the way. Nothing. All right. Oh no, it got it. Santa's had a little too much cheer. He's lost his way and can't find the North Pole this year. All the elves are feeling blue because Christmas is cancelled and they don't know what to do.
Oh my God.
Santa's lost at the bottom of a bottle. Christmas is cancelled forever and a day. Santa's lost at the bottom of the bottle. What will all the children say? That is fantastic. That is an instant Christmas classic.
Wow.
The reindeer are all feeling sad. They don't know how to get home. It's bad. The toy workshop is all shut down. No more toys for the good little girls and boys around. Santa's lost at the bottom of the bottle. Christmas is cancelled. I love that chorus. Oh, Santa's lost at the bottom of the bottle. Christmas cancelled forever and a day. Santa's lost.
Oh no, it wouldn't be. It can't be. Oh, so it's a Christmas song, isn't it? It's more like kind of Santa's lost.
Oh yeah,
at the bottom of a bottle. Yeah,
I could hear a Jade style bottle song using this
Jade,
as well.
Please, oh man,
yeah,
amazing.
Or like Thomas Christ. I think Thomas Christ could do this. Santa's lost at the bottom of a bottle. Christmas is cancelled. Yeah. So very cool. We've got to. See, it got all hopeful. We've got to find a way to save Christmas. We can't let it fade away. We'll bring Santa back to the North Pole and make sure he's okay. We'll put Santa in rehab. We'll get him on the front.
Man, get Netflix on the phone. There's a film in this. Like, this is great.
Wait, isn't this just Bad Santa, the Billy Bob Thornton movie?
Pretty much, actually, yeah. Copyright. There we go.
If you do want to try it for yourself, you can check it out there. It is a lot of fun. It is super addictive. Put aside 7 or 8 hours because once you start playing with it, it is more fun. And look, there are some more useful uses to it. I was showing Patrick at the start here that all the tags generated for this video, all I did was say write 500 characters. So say if I was doing a video, write 500 characters for a YouTube tags for YouTube tag. 500 characters for YouTube tags for a video about GarageBand, let's just say automation. And instead of me having to go through and go bump, look at this. GarageBand automation, music production, recording software, virtual instruments, audio effects, recording software, iOS, Apple, Mac, recording tips, music tricks, music tutorials, music software. Yeah. So
nice.
This is where I think is going to help out because all I do is basically go through and do what it would be doing, going through and finding relevant. And again, some of those won't be exactly right. Electronic music, I wouldn't put that in there. Music creation, I probably wouldn't put that in there. But it's a good starting point. And I think that kind of summarizes what we're saying here is that AI is a tool. It is not a replacement. It's not going to do everything, but it is going to help automate and help provide some info of some of those tasks that we do. And write funny Christmas songs, apparently.
Apparently so. That's great.
Wow. Karaoke idea. Alternate lyrics to popular songs that are displayed when people request a song.
Oh, man. That'd be great.
Interesting. Yeah, because you could write... I wonder if you could write a parody song. We're going to get lost. We've only got 7 minutes left. Let's
in the weeds already, man.
I know. We are well and truly in the weeds.
Love it.
Yeah. So, before we finish up here, Patrick, 2023, looking forward, what's happening around the GarageBand guide in the next year? What are you hoping for? What do you think's going to happen? What's Apple going to do? Give us your crystal ball speculations.
Who knows what Apple's going to do at this point? No idea. Not a clue. In terms of GarageBand itself, I mean, I hope we can look forward to more. It's just going to be more packs and more sounds coming. I don't think we'll see any kind of exciting new additions to the virtual guitar sounds, even though they're about 8 years out of date at this point. Similarly for the desktop version, I think again it's just going to be more content updates and I'm not really sure you're going to see any more features there. I would love to see more features added to GarageBand for iOS. I think it kind of depends on what happens maybe hardware wise next year. I think it's a big year for Apple hardware wise, very much just kind of spinning their wheels this year with kind of incremental updates. But you've got new Mac minis and stuff coming next year, allegedly new MacBook Pros, and then new iPad designs and stuff as well. So I would personally more interested in the iOS side with more exciting third-party iOS apps. This year, 2022, has been an incredible year for iOS music making in general. There's been loads of desktop companies that have been porting fantastic plugins over to iOS, and that's set to continue in the new year, as well as kind of native iOS native developers creating some really amazing apps kind of early next year as well. So I'm kind of more excited for that than I am for GarageBand on its own, really, to be honest. And what about yourself? What are you looking forward to next year?
Yeah, I think kind of the same. I think that we've reached a point, without being negative, because it's not really a negative thing, but I think we've reached a point where GarageBand on Mac and GarageBand on iOS. Someone asked me the question. They're like, if Logic Pro is 100, what's GarageBand Mac and what's GarageBand iOS? And I said, look, GarageBand Mac's about 20 in terms of features, but about 80 in terms of what most people actually use. And it's the same with GarageBand iOS. It's probably a 10 in terms of, there's probably 10 times more features in Logic than there are in GarageBand iOS. But most people won't use any of them unless you need to use them. So I think GarageBand has kind of reached this impetus where it doesn't need to add anything more. Like once we got 24-bit audio, once we got the ability to plug in any USB audio interface, microphone, guitar that we want to, and be able to record multi-tracks up to 32 tracks, like that's what most people need. There's very few songs that a home recording enthusiast is going to create that are going to be more than that. And the people that need more than that know that they need more than that, and they'll go and use Logic, or they'll use Cubase, or they'll use Pro Tools, or whatever. So I think you're right. I think we're at the point now where as long as Apple don't mess, kind of like mastering, like do no harm, don't mess with the basis of the platform. We've got AUV3 support that works well adjacent. You've got developers that are really going all in, like you say, Baby Audio is the one that comes to mind, that have really taken that plunge and have really put a lot of energy and effort into their mobile AUV3 apps as well. So I think, and look, just watch Jade Starr, watch How to App on iOS. Every day there is something new. Like Jade does not struggle. I mean, maybe she does sometimes, but there's very rarely a struggle to find some sort of new, interesting, cool app. And as Jade says, it's not Pokemon. Like when it comes to gear, or when it comes to apps, or when it comes to anything, don't have to collect them all. But if you watch the GarageBand guide, if you watch Jade, if you watch me here, we'll be the guinea pigs. We'll go in and try things. We'll play around with them, and then you can go and decide if it's right for you. And hey, the majority of the time it won't be. You won't want to get everything. But when it comes to something like the free Baby Audio plugin just dropped, grab that. Magic Dice, I know that was in your, not to spoil it, but that was in your top apps of the year. Just little things like that you can just throw on your tracks that make a difference. And I think, so I agree with you. I think that, I don't worry so much about what Apple and GarageBand are doing, as long as they don't ruin the platform for the cool, sort of independent and upcoming developers that are making cool things. I think we're in good stead for 2023.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's like I say, it's easy to get lost in the weeds of that. I think personally, I want to record and create more music in 2023. It's easy to get bogged down with all of the cool new sounds and cool new apps, but if you're not actually using them to create anything, it's not great. So personally, for me, my personal mission is to record and release, to create, record, and in fact release more music next year, Pete.
I heard some bald bloke say that one time. Yes, it's true, exactly. Because I had a failure this year. I'll call it a failure. In January, I came out of the blocks so enthused, and I wrote a song in January called Toxic Ego that I released by the end of January. And I foolishly said, "This is the first of 12 songs that I'm going to write, record, and release this year." And did 2. So I'm the same. I want to do a lot more. Well, hey, 2 is more than 0, and if you aim for 12 and get 2, it's better than aiming for 2 and getting 0.
Absolutely.
Or aiming for 0 and getting 0. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it, except to say that, hey, I've learned from that I need to refocus. I need to practice what I preach. So there you go. We can be each other's accountability buddies for the next year. And
that's a kind of hopeful, excellent, uplifting attitude that we need after creating a song about Santa Descending into alcoholism. Yeah.
Well, people are talking about parody songs, and we'll finish on this. If you do have final
Okay.
comments or final things to say to Patrick, well, please do throw them here in the chat. But
Absolutely.
people are saying that ChatGPT is fun for parody songs. So I said, write a parody song to the tune of It's Raining Men about creating music. And I do like the chorus. It's raining music. Hallelujah. I'm writing lyrics. I'm composing a score. It's raining. Yeah. I'm creating magic. I can't wait for more.
It's good. Oh, yeah, it's great.
See, Weird Al, if the person that needs to be worried about this more than anyone is Weird Al, because, parody lyrics are apparently going to be easily written. Let's say thank you to everyone who's joined us here. I hope you had fun hanging out here today, folks. Crow on a Wire, Rena, Joe and Barry, Glenn, Gary, Thomas, Christ, Barry, The Falcrow, Princess LDG, Cole Dacre, thank you for being here. Our wonderful moderator, Thomas Christ, keeping the prawn bots away. Many Vibes, thank you for being here. Cole Dacre as well. Any word on Cakewalk for Apple iOS? I don't think so. And is Logic going to be on sale? No, because Apple don't put things on sale. So there you go. Sorry, didn't even let Patrick answer, but we won't get Cakewalk on Apple, and we won't get
use BandLab.
Yeah, exactly. Use BandLab. Hello and goodbye, Axioms Playground. Thanks for dropping by. Colin Powell, thanks for your additional information. Yes. Thanks to Jade Starr, who did a great opening show. Go and watch that one, all about ChatGPT. I hope you had some fun, because I just wanted this to be a bit of a casual, bit of a laugh, and hopefully reduce your fear. So did we do that, Patrick, do you reckon? Or are people now more on edge than they were at the start of the show?
Yeah, apart from injecting some existential dread about Santa Claus, I think pretty much.
I'm going to go back to that one. I'm saving that one for future use. Yeah, Santa's lost at the bottom of the bottle. Wow.
Absolute banger.
Dark.
No, you're all safe. Don't worry, it's fine. It'll all end up costing too much money soon anyway, so don't worry about it.
It'll be like cryptocurrency. It'll become ridiculously expensive, and only 1% of AI bros will just be telling you how much you should be investing your time into AI.
ChatGPT, bro.
Hodl, bro. Yeah, you got to hodl your ChatGPT, bro.
To the moon with AI, bro. Sorry.
And we wonder why we don't get crypto and NFT sponsorship for that show. Oh my god! That's going to do it for this show. Patrick, have a happy Christmas, mate. Have a wonderful Christmas, New Year time with your family, and hope you get some good gifts and more importantly, some time to create some music and to have some fun over the holiday season.
Thank you, and for yourself, hope you and your family have a lovely time in your weird sunny Christmas, mate.
We'll go to the beach, crack a beer, and eat a salad. That's how we roll around here. Thank you on behalf of my co-host for the show, Patrick. Do get over to the GarageBand guide. It's linked down in the description. Make sure you're following Patrick and all the stuff going on over there. And until next time, please be kind to yourself, folks. Be kind to others. Keep creating, or just use AI. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.